Hello everyone, and welcome to my CBS Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Finn rushes directly to Sheila once Steffy's betrayal backfires. Spoilers for the Bold and the Beautiful reveal that Steffy Forrester Finnegan had no control over what transpired on the Monaco beach. That attitude will be compared to John Finnegan's incapacity to handle Sheila Carter, the mystery that both he and his wife shared. Brown's character is the greatest villain in B&B history, as devoted fans well aware. However, Sheila has also earned her status as one of the biggest monsters in soap opera history. However, Sheila has shown real acts of bravery, such as when she saved Kelly Spencer, Steffy's daughter, from drowning in the Pacific Ocean. However, Steffy never erased the numerous crimes she perpetrated against herself and others, so she wrote that and any other good deed off. Was Finn wrong to notice that Sheila did a fairly good job of handling Deacon Sharp's breach of his marriage vows? When Sheila eventually discovered the truth, she was more devastated than anything. She was first concerned that Taylor Hayes would exploit Deacon's weakness. Sheila and Finn will always be genetically related. However, Steffy has overlooked the fact that he and her have an unbroken emotional connection. That seemed like a problem to Steffy, so she gave him an ultimatum. She had trained herself to think that Finn was on Sheila's side, which contributed to her outburst in Monaco. He didn't have Steffy's concrete perspective, after all. It's not that Steffy has an unreasonable animosity. Sheila attempted to kill her while holding a gun at close range. Finn took the first gunshot by moving in front of his wife. Sheila then sighted and fired the trigger a second time, striking Steffy at close range when she attempted to shout for assistance. Surprisingly, Sheila was never prosecuted for those acts, and the Finnegans managed to survive. Thus, Steffy is neither harsh nor narrow-minded. She observes that Sheila attempted to murder her mother as well. Viewers are aware that Brown's character has attempted murder and is thought to have taken the lives of others. It makes perfect sense for Steffy to think Sheila is a very unstable person hiding behind a facade of change. Steffy boarded an impetuous flight from Monaco to Los Angeles, California. In addition, it had several belts of booze, and viewers questioned why the flight attendant permitted such careless behavior, regardless of any rights passengers may have for consuming alcohol while in flight. Making a connection with Carter Walton suggests that something significant will take place. It's simple to assume that Steffy will regret taking off her rings and informing Finn that their marriage is over in front of Sheila in Monaco. It would be ironic if Steffy's response turned out to be the cause of Sheila's future sympathy for Finn. Although he attributes the most recent turmoil to Brown's character, Finn will be shocked by what appears to be Steffy's betrayal, at which point a biological mother's compassion can take center stage. Ridge's Finn fury explodes as a result of Carter and Steffy's grave error. Carter Walton and Steffy Forrester Finnegan will become engrossed in their feelings and their intense need for solace, according to the latest episode of The Bold and the Beautiful. Let's discuss what's going to happen since Ridge Forrester will also lose his temper. First of all, now that Steffy has been harmed and driven away by John Finnegan, Ridge's anger will go out of control. Ridge will continue to be enraged by his son-in-law's actions because Finn concealed Sheila Carter's trip to Monaco and did not take a strong enough stance against her. Finn will assure Steffy that he will make amends, but he must first locate her. Eventually, Finn will return to Los Angeles in the hopes of seeing Steffy there as soon as possible. Finn is terrified of losing Steffy permanently, so he won't want to think about it at all. On the lengthy flight home, Finn will only ponder and attempt to persuade himself that better news is on the way. Steffy will tell Carter more about Monaco at Forrester Creations and weep over having to part with Finn. Steffy had thought that their Sheila problems would be resolved, but she now feels compelled to put her kids first. Steffy thinks Finn won't be her spouse for very long because of this. Carter will acknowledge that Daphne Rose Walton, Muriel Hilaire, is returning to Paris and no longer wants to be his wife. Steffy will develop a strong bond with Carter after realizing that he is suffering just as much as she is. Although Carter and Steffy have been friends for a long time, there will be a change in their relationship that makes them feel more than just platonic. Since Steffy and Carter have been drinking a lot of alcohol, It is obvious that they won't be able to think clearly or make wise decisions. Carter and Steffy will just realize that they don't want to deal with all of these unpleasant feelings, so they will attempt to feel anything else in their place. It appears that when temptation arises, Steffy and Carter will make a grave error by giving in. Before they perform the deed in the Forrester CEO office, the clothing can begin to fall off. Don't miss any of the action since spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful indicate that Carter and Steffy will be really hot. Katie looks into a drunken deal and a sad understanding. Spoilers for the upcoming week of The Bold and the Beautiful have been released. Katie Logan Spencer is likely to look into Melissa Dillon. Daphne Rose Walton and Carter Walton come to an agreement. Additionally, it seems like Jacqueline McInnes Wood's character, Steffy Forrester Finnegan, strikes a bargain while intoxicated. Discover what will happen next in the CBS soap opera by continuing to read. First, let's talk about Carter and Steffy. After being abandoned by Daphne Rose Walton, Muriel Hilaire, Carter was intoxicated at work. Steffy, meantime, deboarded from the Monaco flight and made her way to the office. What will happen now that Steffy and Carter are intoxicated and in the same room? Some are speculating about a one-night stand, but I'm not sure whether Sheila Carter is truly involved. Carter will eventually get in touch with Daphne Rose Walton later this week. Persuaded that Carter should have a wife with functional ovaries, the woman fled to Paris. Yes, I realize that seems ridiculous, but Daphne is essentially telling Carter that. Either way, they reach a consensus. Not a contract, a deal, or even a get-together. Just a comprehension. They seem likely to be apart for some time. Maybe Daphne just needs a little time. According to spoilers for this week's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, Katie is aware that Dylan is up to no good. It was ineffective to confront the girl. I therefore anticipate that Katie will investigate Dylan's past. If Katie claims to be Electra Forrester's best friend, she will also attempt to convince Will that Dylan is not a good person. Dylan is reminded by Electra that she is in charge and has the power to fire her. But because things aren't going well in Monaco, Electra might want to check her ego again. Steffy struggles with John Finnegan throughout the remainder of the week. Carter Walton does comfort the brunette. Instead of making out, the preview clip implies that they might be devising an elimination strategy. Zend Forrester Dominguez should take RJ Forrester's suggestion into consideration. Additionally, Will and Dylan had a negative experience at Bikini Bar with two other individuals. The unexpected romance between Carter and Steffy is set in a soap opera. For years, fans of The Bold and the Beautiful have been demanding a romance between Steffy Forrester and Carter Walton. The writers of the soap opera seem to have finally come around. Will Carter and Steffy's romance ultimately blossom? Find out by continuing to read. Here are the upcoming events on Bold and Beautiful. Steffy Forrester left her husband Finn in Monaco and quickly returned to Los Angeles. On the journey home, she drank herself into a coma, and when she returned to Forrester, she was completely inebriated. Steffy is fortunate to have a shoulder to weep on at work. Spoilers for Bold and Beautiful indicate that Daphne Rose is actually moving out of town. Carter was devastated by Daphne when Steffy was flying home. She returned his ring and informed him that Daphne was returning home to Paris and that she wanted some space. Carter started hitting the bottle because he was heartbroken and blind. Everything is set up for a startling event on Bold and Beautiful. Next week's soap opera teasers suggest that Steffy and Carter will have love while intoxicated. Steffy is definitely fertile, but Daphne may not be. If she becomes pregnant, it will be difficult to conceal her wonderful night with Carter from her husband. Spoilers for Bold and Beautiful indicate that Dr. John Finnegan's return to Los Angeles is imminent. Sober Steffy would likely try to hide her tryst with Carter Walton after realizing she made a grave error. However, we are all aware that the truth will eventually surface. Do you believe Steffy and Carter would be a suitable couple? Will Finn learn that she spent the night with Carter? Is Shin irreparably damaged? Saving Will, Electra's ego, and killer passion. A teaser video for the upcoming week has been released by The Bold and the Beautiful. It depicts a new interaction between two characters. Will it be murder, passion, or both? Electra Forrester's ego is out of control in the meantime. Additionally, Katie Logan Spencer makes an effort to save Will Spencer. Discover what will happen next in the CBS soap opera by continuing to read. Let's start this piece with the opening scene of the weekly preview clip, in which Katie confronts her son. After losing Electra, Will has been a complete disaster. However, Electra doesn't really have anything to be angry about. Will was dumped by her. He can then do as he pleases with anybody. Katie questions why Will is having an affair with her closest friend as he continues to declare his love for Electra. In fact, it's a really good question. I'm curious to know what Will say about Melissa Dillon to his mother. I'm curious if Katie will be able to help her kid get his act together. Yes, things are difficult right now. Will might be able to win Electra back, though, if he plays his cards well and stops acting so rashly. If that's the kind of girl he truly desires. Although I don't despise Electra, I do think her demands and threats are excessive. I'm beginning to think of her as Steffy Forrester Finnegan. Another catfight breaks out between Electra and Dillon at Forrester Creations. Dillon is reminded of Electra as a celebrity or something. I'm Electra Forrester, and I promise you can leave. So, ego girl, quit threatening and go ahead and do it. However, Dillon will still benefit from that. Dillon can continue to make fun of the Will predicament indefinitely if Electra doesn't dismiss her. She appears to be a resentful and envious ex if she fires Dillon. The desperation of Steffy Forrester Finnegan. Steffy and Carter Walton conclude the preview of The Bold and the Beautiful. The woman complains that all she wants is to be rid of Sheila Carter. I wonder if Carter, who is a rescuer, will murder Sheila in order to save Steffy. Steffy and Carter might also become enamored. Perhaps it will be both. Either way, the plot is going to become much more intricate. During the week of August 17, 2026, whose plotline are you most excited to see? Will Steffy's infidelity be forgiven by Finn? According to previews for The Bold and the Beautiful, he will have to make a really tough decision. For all the information you require, continue reading below. This is due to the fact that every indication suggests that Steffy Forrester and Carter Walton may be dating. Before anybody knows it, the two will start having sex, and sure, Steffy will become pregnant. The question is whether Finn will pardon Steffy for becoming pregnant with a different man. Even though their relationship isn't ideal, Finn still feels a great deal of love for her. But after Steffy almost ruins everything by becoming pregnant with another man's child, will it be sufficient to save what's left of it? Viewers want to know that. It's obvious that a lot of B&B fans have strong opinions about the issue on social media. The foreshadowing of what will happen with Carter and Steffy reminds me of when Steffy was angry at Liam and left him, then she went to the Forrester guest house where Bill found her and they slept together, one commenter wrote. This scene is identical to the previous one, but she is now married to Finn rather than Liam. The question is, will Finn forgive Steffy, wrote a different show viewer. Liam didn't, and for good reason. Who could tolerate your wife having an affair with your father? Finn is such a wuss that, in addition to forgiving Steffy for her previous infidelity, he will likely forgive her and might even hold himself accountable for it. Let's just face it, Steffy isn't the angel she tells everyone she is, was another comment. She was unsure if her daughter's father was Liam or Bill. All of this is nothing new to us. The CBS network broadcasts The Bold and the Beautiful during the week. Look up the timings in your local listings. In the interim, please share your opinions with us in the space provided for comments below.